The first thing we want to talk about is converting text to outlines. And as with everything, there are some advantages and disadvantages of doing that. The way we do that is we simply select the text with one of the selection tools, and we go up under Type, Create Outlines. There you have it. Type, Create Outlines, and it's one of those handy shortcuts to learn. Command-Shift-O. And then what we have is, instead of type or a font, what we have very simply is points and paths in the shape of letters. Now, the positive of that is that, when you go from one computer to another computer, if the same font is not on the second computer, it'll generally, in most applications, want to substitute and change the font. And if you have something, let's say, like this Asian-looking font, something that's very distinctive, decorative or otherwise, then it would dramatically change the look of your piece of artwork. So by converting it to outlines, the computer does not have to have the font loaded any longer to display the type properly. If there are any disadvantages, it is simply that it's no longer type that can be edited. We can change the color, we can make it bigger and smaller, we can rotate it like a graphic, okay? But we can't change the spelling and we can't change the type style. Another advantage, however, is it lets us customize the type. What I mean by that, since it is now just points and paths, we can go in and do things like this. Notice I will select just part of this letter, and then I can either pull it, you see, or this is a good use of the left and right and the up and down arrow keys on your keyboard. And you can see I'm pushing the up key, and there we have it. And so we can do some pretty neat things with customizing type. You see? Okay? And it can be a lot of fun. But I'll often make a copy of the words and keep one hidden that is still type in case I do need to edit the copy at a later date. And then I'll make the copy the one that is turned into outlines. And it's a very, very useful tool. Another thing that is pretty nifty to do, and it can be used on any object. I'm going to use it with type, but it is possible to use it on anything, and that is the warping tools. I'm going to go up first. I'll select, in this case, my type, and then I will go, and it doesn't matter whether it's been turned into outlines or not. This tool called the warping tools, warp, effect, warp from the main menu, and then slide over and bring up the dialog box. And here again, as I've mentioned before, wherever there's a preview button, you want to click it and turn it on. And then you will see these different styles of type that you can choose, okay? And then notice that all of them can be edited or customized with these sliders. So we have these pre-made sort of designs, and then we can alter them even further by playing around with these sliders. And if, in fact, you utilize this on text, let me remind you of something. Generally, if you've got words on a page, it's because it needs to be read. And so be careful to not distort type or words so dramatically with these tools or any others that it becomes unreadable. So that's just a little design hint. But there you have it, and we can say OK to that, and there you are. So create some pretty cool effects. All right, a couple of other things that I want to talk about, and one of them is using the guides. The guides, which are non-printable lines that we use to keep things organized and aligned properly on our page. And with many of our projects, we also want a half-inch margin in a border. So I'm going to show you these things, and I'm going to create a new clean page. File, New, and I'm going to pick a horizontal letter size page. Okay, and I want to bring over the guides and utilize them, but you can't bring up the guides unless you first have the rulers. So I'll go View, Show Rulers, Command R. It's another very useful shortcut. Show Rulers, and now you see we have these numbers and rulers along the the top and along the left side. And if we put our cursor right up in there where those numbers are in the rulers and click and hold the mouse and drag, what we can bring down onto our page are these guides, and we can do as many as we want. They're not going to print. They're here to help us organize our page. And typically, Illustrator has them locked by default. So when we draw them or create them, they are generally always locked in place. So to move them or to delete them, we go again under View in the main menu, down to Guides, we slide over, and you can see here that they're locked. So I can unlock them. I can completely get rid of them, clear the guides. And another very useful handy shortcut is hiding the guides. I often use the guides, but there'll be times when I want to see my page free and clear of them, so you can turn them on and off without actually getting rid of them. And that's Command:. That's also a very useful shortcut. So I'm going to clear the guides. Actually, I'll show you. I'll unlock them. And now, with the black arrow, I can go in and select them and move them or just delete them. So you have to unlock them to accomplish that, okay? All right, now I want to show you how to do the half-inch border and margin that we typically use in our projects. And I'm going to pull over 4 guides marking off the half-inch blank margin area that I want left if we're moving forward with a project. So first I'm going to over here, it doesn't matter what order we do these. I'll go to the left side, click, hold my mouse, and bring one over at a half-inch. Now notice I'm looking very carefully up here as to where it's being lined up, and so you need to make sure that you're at a half-inch. Go get another one, drag it all the way across to the other side. There we go. Okay. Then I'll drop one down to here at the bottom, pull another one down from the top again, and I almost put it in the wrong place. There we have it. So now my guides clearly mark my half-inch border area. And I'll go back up under View and I'll lock them again so that they can't be moved or get knocked off kilter. So I'll lock the guides, and there they are. Okay? And now I can draw, let's say, a rectangle right here. And there is my rectangle. Put some color in it, and there I have my image area, and I can also put a stroke on it, which would be typically I tell students to put a 2-point border. It can be any color. I'll make it a little bit thicker so that you can see it. And there we have a canvas ready to go for one of our projects. And I think that hopefully that makes that pretty clear. Okay.